carnales. We are here with a very good friend of mine. I don't think he needs an introduction because everybody knows him. I've seen his videos, I laughed. I always love his motivational quote of the days. You know, I really like everything that he's been doing. And to my surprise, that I didn't know, he is a very well-known wrestler around the world. So I was like, oh shit, I better not talk smack. Because then he's gonna beat the shit out of me. And he can. So just look at him. So please, ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Mr. What do you...
Toksfale. Just
Toksfale. That's the one that you...
Yeah.
We don't want to say real names. Or is that
No, that's actually my real name. Yeah.
That's his real name.
Yeah.
All right, for legal purposes, we can use...
Yeah, if it's wrestling, it's bad luck Fale.
Bad luck, Fale.
Yeah, but I'm a positive guy. I'm not I'm bad luck in the ring, but not outside.
Well, thank you so much for doing this little interview with me. I'm very excited, obviously, to know a little bit more of your story. I think the first question, what made you to do this what made you to join social media? I know a lot of people do it, but
Yeah.
why you decided, okay, I want to try this thing?
Mainly because I like challenges, you know. And I remember 2020 is when I started. I put a challenge out to my students. And TikTok was fairly new, I think, and everybody was saying it's for kids, but I was trying to explain to them, you know, you can thrive on anything. You know, if you try it, work on it, concentrate and focus on it, you're gonna get somewhere. And I put out the challenge and I said, you know, I'm gonna do it too, and we'll see who has the most followers after a couple of months. And they all quit.
Really?
Yeah, they all couldn't go through and do it all the way, so I had so much fun because I was winning and I just kept going. I love it.
How many followers did you got on TikTok when the challenge finished?
I think I was at about 40,000, but yeah.
What content, what did you start posting on your social media that started blowing up? Like, what was the secret, or what did you do there?
It was mostly comedy. We're doing skits and you know, just doing dances, following the trend. But then you know, you find your niche, you figure out what you like and what other people like, and then you stick to that.
Nice. That's pretty cool. And what is your niche now? Why don't you still doing a little bit of comedy, a little bit of everything? Do you try to mix it up, or just try to keep rolling what you're doing?
Yeah, we mix it up, yeah, because you know, if you do the same thing all the time, your followers are gonna get tired. So my main thing is motivation, and I had been doing that before I even got on TikTok. So motivation is number one, but when I feel like I want to laugh or do something funny with some people and collaborate, we do some comedy.
Nice.
And hopefully we do.
Yeah, of course, man. I can't wait to do that, man. Now, obviously, the main gig, the main job, which is this wonderful gym. Can you tell us, first of all, big shout out, where is it located so the boys can come?
Fale Dojo, and it's located in Otahuhu, 66 Portage Road.
There you go. So you make sure to come. It's an amazing. I'm impressed. Like when he told me it's a gym, I thought we were gonna. I was gonna get jumped by the mob or something. I was a little bit afraid when he said Otahuhu, but I come from West Oakland, so I'm very familiar with that kind of violence. No, but definitely come. It looks decent.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an amazing place.
Better than most.
Better than most. Honestly, it looks better with those private, like really fancy gyms. So it's pretty cool, man. Now, you do the wrestling. You told me that you do a lot of it in Japan and around the world. Why wrestling? Why did you pick wrestling? Because is this something that you've been doing for many years, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, I've been wrestling for 14 years now, but why? Because I had no other job.
And you're like, it's like I like beating people. I didn't have a job.
You know, I was being stupid. I was dumb because I played rugby professionally, and I thought, you know, after I retired, I thought, you know, I gotta do something easier. And then I went and tried out and got in, and I was surprised because it was 2-3 times harder than rugby was. So
Wow.
But I enjoyed the challenge and kept going, and that's why
Was it something that you always want? Like was it something that obviously you said you did rugby and everything, but was it something that you had in mind before, or just all of a sudden you like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll do it?
Yeah, I did. Every kid watches wrestling and wants to be a wrestler. But for us here in New Zealand, we're way far away from everywhere else in the world, and it's sometimes it seems impossible because those opportunities are not here. I was fortunate because I was in Japan at the time. I retired from rugby, and then they had tryouts there, and I got in.
Nice, nice. So, are you trying to make wrestling big in New Zealand, or are you trying to export the talent that is in New Zealand to the world? What is the goal that now that you have your dojo here?
The main goal is to grow it big enough here where I don't have to take people over there, because I have taken a few guys over there, a couple of guys from New Zealand and Australia, but the main goal is to grow it big enough that everyone around New Zealand and Australia can make money and stay here.
Okay. Is there, like, obviously there's all around the world there's different associations and is there one in New Zealand for wrestling? Do you have like a WWE or WW something here in New Zealand, or?
No, there isn't. There's a lot of independent companies around, but we have started the first professional one.
Wow.
And that's a New Japan Pro Wrestling branch of New Japan, from Japan, and New Japan Tamashii. We started that back in November, so
Nice.
we're doing well.
Are you doing wrestling now here in New Zealand?
Yes, we started in November, so we've done 3 tours so far, and we're going to do more.
Nice. How many wrestlers do you have?
Right now, we have, I'd say, around 20 to 30 that I use in all these tours.
Nice. Do they have their own personality and all that stuff?
Yeah, you have to. Like any other business, man, you should know in your own business, everybody has to have their own character. Everybody has to be special in their own way to be able to be successful.
Nice, nice. And if someone that right now is watching you or listening to you that wants to be a wrestler, what would be the best advice you can give to them?
If you want to be a wrestler, find the best school that you think can help you the most and go there.
So you really need to be trained for this. It's not something that you can just like, oh, I want to do it.
No. Yeah, you're right. You always hear the warnings on TV.
Yeah.
It takes years of practice, and that's real. We've had a lot of wrestlers break their necks, get lifelong injuries.
How about yourself? Have you had
Some
any? Really?
Yeah, there's a lot who have passed away because of broken necks,
And
accidents.
what do you think about that controversy that a lot of people say, like, oh, wrestling is fake and blah, blah, blah? Obviously, maybe the punches might be fake, but the whole acrobatics and the whole exercise, it's real. You're falling down, it's you can tell anybody, drop yourself right now, and that's not going to be something easy, For you and your experience, what was the hardest thing to realize when it comes to wrestling on the reality of what it is? What you just mentioned, that people get injured.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part that you realized, like, oh, maybe jumping from the ropes, I don't know, trying to punch someone and actually punching them, or what was the hardest part for in your?
Yeah, you're right. The realization on my first ever match, I went up against the most feared guy who was in Japan at the time, Nakanishi Manabu, and this guy was just a beast, and he was an Olympic wrestler.
Oh wow!
And he was in his 40s, but this guy could just do anything. So my first match against him, he basically dislocated my jaw.
Wow!
And up until that day, I thought, oh, wrestling's fake. Even though I trained all that time before I debuted, he taught me a lesson that I'll never forget. This business is not fake.
Wow.
There's a lot of deaths, there's a lot of injuries.
And does it varies from fighting in Japan to fighting in the States to fighting around the world? Is it different, or is it the same kind of rules for everybody in general?
It's very different in different ways. The style, Japan is known for being really physical and really, how to say, combative. In England, they're very technical. In America, they're very theatrical. And then in Mexico, they're very acrobatic.
Well, we're small. You
I
can
can tell.
you can toss us around. Like I'm not one of the I'm not your typical Mexican, but yeah, you can definitely toss us around. Oh man, that's pretty cool. Have you ever seen any wrestling, like Mexican wrestling?
Yes, I have, and we usually have once a year in Japan, Fantastica Mania, and we bring over all the best talent from Mexico, and we put up our best Japanese talent against them.
Nice. Who I know many people might not know, but who is your favorite wrestler of all time in Mexico? From Mexico.
From Mexico, you might know him, Terrible.
El terrible,
Yeah,
yes.
Terrible, my favorite.
El terrible.
Yeah, he was Bullet Club, one of our original Bullet Club members. Yeah, and I miss him.
Nice. What about in the States? Who would you say?
All time, I would say JBL.
JBL.
Yes, Bradshaw. This is a tough mother.
You can swear, that's no problem. Wow, nice. And if you ever had the opportunity to wrestle someone, who would you like to wrestle? If you ever, like, even in your prime or right now, whenever, if you ever had the opportunity to wrestle someone, or maybe you had before.
No, my dream match is and has always been versus Meng.
Really?
Or Haku. King
Really?
Haku. Yeah, he was the first, I'd say the first famous Tongan to ever be. And, growing up, he was the guy everybody wanted to be at the time.
And you would, you.
Oh, yeah, one day I'd like to face him. Just to take that Tongan death grip just one time.
That's amazing, man. Now, obviously, you're trying to pump this into New Zealand. Do you think that New Zealanders in general would be keen to have their own wrestling kind of, showmanship in the TV, or are the people showing up for the shows? What you're doing now?
I think they do. At one point in time, New Zealand and Australia was the biggest territory in the world. Everybody around the world used to want to come and work here. And our goal is to get back to that. And I think the population still wants to see something like that.
Nice. If for someone that doesn't watch wrestling or doesn't know much about wrestling, what can you recommend them to start watching so they can get into it? Like, do you recommend them to go watch old clips on YouTube, or maybe watch this TV show? Is there something that you can give them as a spectator?
Yes, you mentioned it. I suggest watching the 80s and the 90s.
80s and the 90s.
Yeah, start there because those were the real quality stuff.
Nice.
And a lot of those guys are still around now. So.
And now, in your opinion, with this WWE, what do you think about this new social media and our artists that are jumping into wrestling? Because I have a friend that he's not a professional wrestler, but he did it for a while. And I asked him, what do you think about like Logan Paul or like Bad Bunny? He's a singer. He's now a wrestler all of a sudden. What do you think about those people trying to join the art of wrestling?
I give them all the credit in the world because not only are they showing people that it's possible, at the same time they're bringing a lot of eyes to it. And they're bringing all their fans, and they're seeing the product now. But at the same time, those guys are not where they are from not doing nothing. Right? If you're at that level, wrestling at that level, surely you've trained your butt off to get there.
No.
And I know Logan Paul, I've seen him fight, people put him down, and him and his brother. But they don't know, those guys are in the gym every single day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And I can just imagine, and watching Logan Paul wrestle, I can tell he's trained his ass off to get there.
Nice. Now, for your celebrities here, social media celebrities here, who would you like to see on a wrestling? Like I know, not many of us do it, but who would you like to see? 'Cause I've been, now that Gang is training, a lot of people are telling me, oh, you should do like a running competition with Gang or something like that.
That'll be great. I'd love to see that.
But who would you think it would be cool to have them join for a wrestling match?
You know, I've seen you guys. Of course, you. I'd say Gang, Terrell, Johnny Tuasa. Man, there's a lot of guys who I'd be able to train all of you guys and put on a proper show. Should we do it?
Yeah, man.
Let's do a social media.
Let's do it.
Wrestling show.
That'd be amazing, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be keen to see me trying to stand up on the floor. That's gonna be the whole show. It's gonna take like 30 minutes.
Here's an idea, and we're gonna do this. Me and you are gonna do this. Social media influencers in New Zealand. Pick who you want to match who, and let's put a show together.
There you go. We're gonna see. I think that's a sellout. Yeah, man, that's a sellout. That'll be a sellout. Yeah, man.
I like this idea.
All right, we're gonna cut off right now. We're gonna go do it right now. Oh man, that's pretty cool. And obviously you keep growing on social media, and you keep growing on your wrestling. Is there something else that you would like to do in, let's say, in 5 years? How do you see Toksfale doing?
We have our promotion going, so New Japan Tamashi. My 5-year goal is have that on TV weekly, and also working with the youth, a lot more motivational talking, helping. You know, especially in New Zealand, there's so much mental health problems going on, and I've reached the point where, you know, I've reached the top. I've enjoyed life at the top, but giving back now is one of my main goals.
That's amazing, man.
That's what I want to do. And by the end of 5 years, that's what I want to do.
And do you think that, especially with mental health that you touched that subject, do you think it'd be something that wrestling would be something that will improve it? Would that create a sense of betterness for the youth especially?
Yes, I think so. Especially the Japanese style of wrestling, because the discipline that's needed to go through the Japanese system is just so. I say, if you've seen Karate Kid with Miyagi, that's how it is. You can turn any troubled kid to the right path if you show them that they can do it.
Oh.
Right?
That's exactly what my mom did. She turned me into a cleaner.
Oh,
Wax on, wax off. All day.
That's a good one.
Oh man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now, what would you like create an association to help the youth, or would you go and grab the ones that are already there and kind of like bring them over to you?
Right now, we're working on a program that we are going to go out to schools and identify the troubled kids who can't sit still in class and won't listen. Those type of kids, and we identify them. We invite them to come and train with us here. Our second option is going to schools and telling them, hey, if you need us to come in, if you have a class that you think would benefit, one of my trainers will come for an hour or even after school. And a lot of our training really helps with rugby as well. So a lot of the rugby teams or the girls and boys around the community drop by here and do some wrestling, because it helps them with their tackling and their breathing and their balance.
Now, to the parents that are afraid of, because like for example, my wife is one of those that I want to get my son into boxing or into karate, something like that. I want to get him into some discipline like that. But she says that she has the idea of that if he does that, he's gonna fight more, or he's gonna get more into trouble. What would you tell to a person that tells you that a kid's gonna get more violent if they come to classes?
Yes. Firstly, if that's what you think, talk to the trainers, because if it's a proper school, they will straight up tell you straight away this is for discipline or protection. No, if the first thing they tell you is, oh, we're gonna teach you how to fight so you can go out and beat everybody up. When they say that, don't take them to that school. Yeah, so a proper school would say, it'll help with your discipline, it'll help with the defense.
Nice. Do you think that, obviously with the technology coming over and everything, I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube of like people teaching to kind of like training on the internet. Would that work, or would you recommend go straight to a gym or to a dojo or something like that?
Yeah, for me it's more the face-to-face that works. I could have easily set up an online thing with my school, but the same feel is not there. And I know that because when my students are in front of me, disciplined, right? They have to be disciplined when they're sitting in front of me and I'm seeing them. But if it's online, they can do that in front of you, but then do it offline, they do something different. Right? So it's very difficult.
So you wouldn't recommend anything online? This has to be.
If it's the only, I wouldn't, right? But if it's the only option, if you can't get to a gym down the road or somewhere, go online. I'm pretty sure there's some good online courses.
Nice, that's pretty good. And I think that's I have 5 fast questions. Mm-hmm. This is to see whatever comes to your mind. Just shoot the answer, even if it's explicit. The expliciter, the better. All right.
Okay.
Favorite pie?
Eggs and cheese.
Ooh, all right. Favorite Japanese food?
Sushi.
Sushi or pie?
Sushi.
Sushi pie. Hey, you gotta admit that one. If you only had to choose one, sushi or pie, which one would it be?
Pies.
Pies. Woohoo! Let's go. A beach or snowing?
Beach.
Okay. Good. And last one. Karate or taekwondo?
Ooh, karate.
Karate. Why?
It's Japanese.
That's just extreme. Just because it's Japanese, or because taekwondo is basically just the footwork.
Taekwondo is Korean.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I always thought it was Chinese.
Oh,
no, this is Korean. Okay, well, I just learned something. Oh, nice. Now, this is, I know I said 5, I'm already going overboard. MMA, boxing.
In what sense? I'd say MMA, but in what sense do you?
Like what do you prefer, like even to watch?
To watch? MMA.
MMA, really? Oh, nice. Wrestling, MMA?
MMA.
Now, if a wrestler, someone that boxes or someone that does karate or something like that, wants to become or be part of the MMA, what recommendation can you give to a person that wants to join into the MMA?
Wow. See, this is something that's, my view is you learn how to be a fighter before you become a wrestler. That's why, and if you do that, your wrestling career would excel really fast. So I recommend before you even get into wrestling, go learn boxing, or learn kickboxing, or some sort of grappling, or wrestling even, amateur wrestling. But if you're going to do it the other way, it's going to be very hard.
Really?
Because if you're a wrestler, if you've never fought before, you're going to have a rude awakening when you go and try to be a boxer, or try to be a wrestler.
Because that even happened with Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, right? That Conor went into well, he did amazing. Still, I was very surprised that he did pretty good. Okay, nice. So that's a very good recommendation. Anything else that you would like to add? Do you like to say that you want to mention?
Yeah, there's a lot I could say, but I'll leave it there.
Social media, what are your socials?
At Toksfale, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok.
OnlyFans?
No.
Not yet. Sorry guys, not yet. I asked the question. I had to. Make sure to follow him. If you are in Auckland, please come down, train. It's a beautiful place. Like I said, make sure that you follow him. Check everything he's gonna be doing. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and thank you so much for your time. See you to the next one.